Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Sally Jack's TV mom, and I wanted to show you some of the days out that we've done sort of just after lockdown with the family to get out and about, fun, cheap and free things that you can do in the Northwest. So these is giving you a few ideas if you want to get out, you know, with your family, on your own, whichever you want to. This are just a few ideas, a few snippets of what we've done. I hope you enjoy. Please don't forget to give us a thumbs up, write your comments in the section below, and we would love to have you part of our YouTube family. So please hit that subscribe button. Enjoy. Oh, this was a really fun trip with my mom and Frankie Jag. And what's so hilarious is you're about to see my mom climb these rocks. She's turned 70 years old and she's still got it. Unfortunately, I didn't film and I don't know why. I'm really gutted myself. I only took photos, but she got to the top and a few people applauded her. She was finding it a bit tricky at times, but she did it. And then she had some photos at the top with Frankie Jack as well. But it was fun, and it was great to see her as well, because she's been shielding for so long. It was just great to see her moving about and just enjoying it. And I'd never been to Morecambe. My mum said that she thinks that I went when I was a child, but as far as I'm concerned, this was my first trip, and yet I just live, well, it's not round the corner, but it's about, what is about 40 minutes away, 45 minutes away. We also popped to see Eric Morecambe and also the Midland Hotel, which is very famous, which has been done up recently, and apparently it's a great place to go and visit and have afternoon tea. Since shielding, we've been playing more board games than we've ever done before, and I think a lot of families have been like this, and I've really got into dominoes, and actually I'm quite good at it.
You can't see.
Right, so what do you think of the strawberry? Have you eaten it?
No, we haven't eaten it.
Go on, try it. Is that juicy? Is it lovely? Oh, well, thank you very much for rubbing it in and not sharing. Tasty strawberry?
Yeah.
If you come to the Northwest, you've got to visit Pendle Hill. It's a beautiful walk. It's 557 metres high, and it's just short of a mountain. In fact, it's 51 metres short of a mountain. It takes us about 18 minutes to get up it, and then you walk along it and all the way back down. But there is one good reason why we go up a couple of times a year, and this is why. So, we've actually got up it in just under 18 minutes with just a couple of stops. Not long stops, just to let people pass for social distancing. So the reason why we wanted to come up today, my dad passed away 2 years ago in May. So it's just, no he didn't, he passed away in March. 2 years ago in March, 2 years ago in May, we scattered his ashes, and we scattered them on the top of Pendle. And he is somewhere around here. My brother knows the exact mark because he marked it out on his, I don't know whether he's got some sort of dial on his phone that tells you the degrees and whatnot. But I wanted to come up and see my dad. I know many people go through it, and it just, I knew that it were going to be hard. Because you miss him every day, don't you? And I still miss him so badly. I just wanted him to appear and kiss you and tell you everything's going to be okay. So that's what my daddy used to do to me. Whoa, sorry. So, this is where he is. And that's where he overlooks. And he wanted to be in this place because this is where he grew up. He met my mum in London. But he was such a great man. I'm just going to have a moment to myself. Apologies for that, but just showing you, you know, this happens to everybody, and, you know, it's very difficult, but it is getting easier. if that makes sense. I'm remembering the good times and smiling more than I've ever done before about him, but obviously I still get teary, and it does really strike a chord when I go up Pendle Hill. We climbed up to the summit, we had our pictures taken there, and then we came all the way back down, and we did have a bit of a whingy Frankie Jack with us. Oh, I don't want to do this. But this was before I bought our walking boots, and both of us were in trainers, and I realised that the amount of walking that we're doing, I really did need to get us some good walking shoes. So you're going to see that a little bit later on in this video. So on the way down, they've made it really easy now, or a lot easier than what it used to be, depending on which way you come back down the hill. And if you can see, there's a little black hut in front, and that is actually now an ice cream and you know, confectionery and drinks, etc. It's such a really good idea that they've done. And then when we got down to the bottom, we also saw these hens, and I did ask a few of you what this was called, and you did tell me, and I can't remember, but it was a funny old looking thing.
It's a funny looking thing, isn't it?
But it was so cute at the same time as well. So this was at the bottom, so obviously Frankie Jack loves it. I love that he's seen all this, the you know, wildlife when we're out, and all the different animals, because obviously we're seeing sheep as well from Pendle Hill, and all the different things that you see that kids are just learning and lapping up and are like sponges, aren't they? So this was such a good little trip. So on the way back to the car, there's some forest on the left-hand side, and Frankie Jack and I went into it, and I love this because Frankie Jack's got such a great imagination, and it's all about, does the Gruffalo live here, mummy? And so it's a bit magical as we're walking through. So that was the end of the Pendle Hill trip.
So day out today to Bolton Abbey. If you want to come here, you do have to pre-book, and because of COVID you have to walk around it one way, so it's very, very good. They've sorted it out really well, and yeah, really good, really lovely day out, hopefully. I can't ever remember doing this, but apparently I have, but it's been a very long time since we have. So this is the Abbey, and that is the spectacular view of the river down there. Gosh, look at that grave. That's a bit spectacular, isn't it? Looks like something Elvis Presley would have. These won't be able to be moved, will they? Film you walking across it. Do you think you're going to be a big boy and be able to do it? Yes.
Yeah, there's some big steps.
There's some big steps there. I'm hoping you're going to be all right going across. Or you could go across on the bridge. Nah. Right. I think Daddy's going to have to hold you across here. Yeah.
Oh, you can try.
I think you can try. Go in front of Daddy, because I'm going to film. That's where you might have to carry him.
Now another great place in the northwest, Bolton Abbey, but we didn't get a chance to do the Strid. So I'll show you the walk that we did, and we do want to go back to be able to do the Strid. I thought this was really cool, walking across the stepping stones. You can go across a bridge if you have got any, obviously, balance issues or any disabilities. There is another way that you can go across it. But they'd had actually marked out that if, because of COVID times, you could only go across it one way, which I thought was really good and really safe. And there was also sort of signs up everywhere telling you what you could and couldn't do, and they were actually saying don't go swimming in the river. I don't know whether those are up all the time, but they certainly mapped it out and sorted it out for COVID. It felt very, very safe. And then Frankie Jack and Gary, they love skimming stones. I don't know whether I've told you, but Gary is a chief stone skimmer. I know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? And I kind of only found out about it during lockdown, even though I've been with him for years. But he's really, really, really good at skimming stones. So, of course, Frankie Jack wants to be like Daddy, and he wants to learn how to do it. So that's something that he's been practicing.
Yeah, that's that big rock.
Yeah. Still got it on camera. It's a good one.
Oh. No, you're trying to splash me. No, he's trying to splash you.
No, Daddy.
He is, he's trying to splash you.
No, Daddy, I'm not he's trying to splash you so you like.
Oh, I got splashed.
He's a little so-and-so and he's been doing that all the way through. Every time we get to a river or a stream, he tries to splash somebody, and he has got me in big ways before now, let me tell you.
Look at these two trees here. There's a log going over and one on the ground. It's so clever because old people have put old pennies in, but they are so old, Gary. Look at those. They are so old. Let's get really close over here. Look at that. That is so old. Aren't they? Look at them. Some of them are bent. How could you bend?
I think they've been put in.
Do you?
Yeah.
So we walked round in a kind of a circle doing this today, but we're going to go back and do the strid. But Frankie Jack had started moaning, then it started to pelt it down, so we went back to the car. When I grew up, I lived near a place called Marsden Park. Don't know whether anybody's heard of it, but it's in Nelson. So I decided to take Frankie Jack down there one day. Now, I went down in COVID a couple of times within the sort of just after the shielding period, and I haven't been down for years. So we got our wellies on and we actually went paddling, not when it was so severe, the little stream. It was a bit further down, but there's some beautiful parts of Marsden Park and they have done it up a little bit, and it really is great, and obviously it brought some amazing memories back for me when I was a child. My fabulous bike from Ideal World.
This is exciting, isn't it? Okay, so look at the water. So that lady's opened that gate, so it comes gushing in, so this rises.
So we stood and watched this in the locks, and I learnt about a narrow boat and a barge boat and the difference between them. A narrow boat is narrow, a barge boat is slightly wider, and I thought a narrow boat and a barge was the same thing, and so did Gary. So sorry if you're going, oh, for goodness sake, Sally. I didn't know the difference of them. And one of the barges that we saw, I'm not so sure whether it was this one, but it was absolutely beautiful. But the people actually lived on the boat, and it was stunning, and it's something that I will do. So hopefully on a future vlog, we are going to get a narrowboat or a barge, because I do want to do that trip. It's on my bucket list. Then we watched it go through the locks, and then Frankie Jack had had enough. It doesn't take as much to get bored, does it?
Comes down on his bottom. Come on.
And that's the reason why he's wearing cheaper clothing to go out in, because he's getting holes and rips and scrapes in things while we're doing more outdoor stuff. We had to come off the canal for a bit because we hit a long tunnel.
So I've just stopped off to open a gate, so I thought I'd come and have a look over. It's like Enid Blyton what we're doing. It's brilliant. Real sort of out in the sticks. Hello. 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 Yeah. It's alright, it won't hurt you. No?
Did the bite yesterday. Hello. So today we're actually meeting the family and walking, social distancing, and going having a look at the fairies in Wycoller. Now I have got a video that I've already done of this, so I'm only going to film a little bit of it today because you've seen the whole walk, and I'll leave it in the suggested videos below. But all the flights are out for next year now, so they were only going up to May 2021, but they've now released them till September of next year. So call me stupid, I may be. Well, only time will tell, but I booked Marbella for next year. I've already booked that, and I've also booked something else. Paris. Do you get me? Anyway, so...
Is anybody answering you back yet?
So I think you might, I guess, but anyway, so I booked that and I got some really good deals. However, the Spanish flight was 12 months in advance, and we've still paid more than next year, only by about, I think it's something like £30 each, something like that. But you've got to think this was 12 months in advance. When I booked it for 2020, I booked it 6 months in advance, so that goes to show that Spanish flights may actually be very expensive. So If you want to take that gamble, and this is obviously your choice, and you have the money to be able to do it, obviously we're going to get our money back from EasyJet, so I'm just going to use that money because our flight was cancelled. Then I would, if you want to take that gamble, I would be highly recommending you book sooner than later, because I think Spain's going to be expensive, because we book everything separate anyway. We don't go as a package holiday. If you go as a package holiday, you might want to wait to do it. But anyway, I just thought I'd give you that tip and trick. I love it when you leave your tips and tricks below as well. If you've got any, then please leave them below in the comments section, and for other people to pick up on. So yeah, we're going out to Wycoller today to have a look, and it's called, I think it's called Trawden Fairy Trail or something like that. They have got a Facebook site, which is brilliant. But you can get a printout from the shop of where the fairies are, and you pay £1 for it, which is not bad. But I think that they, for me personally, would be better as a business to put maybe something up that you can pay via PayPal, and that you can have a PDF copy before you actually go. Therefore, you're not having to go in a shop. But we can't find it. So anyway, so we're going to go and have a look, see if we can do it. But I've got my mask. I don't know, let's see, but we'll still be able to find the fairy doors, but we might not be able to find them all because they've got a map for it. So anyway, have you seen me dressed in the same thing, Gary dressed in the same thing? I swear this hoodie has been one of the best things I've ever bought, and I can't even tell you, I think I've saved a fortune this year on clothes compared to what I would normally like, because I've just lived in hoodies. Up until about 2-3 years ago, I never wore a hoodie in my life. Well, I would have worn a hoodie in my life, but it would have been like just to go to the gym in or something like that. I never wore it every day, but I've become a bit of a slob because I was always like love fashion. But anyway, oh, I've even got marks on my trousers. Oh, I'm disgusting, not fit to be let out, but it's a walk. I'm a scabby donkey and I don't care. So we actually did a much bigger walk, because we walked from Lancashire Bridge into Wycoller and then round Wycoller. And this was the walk up, and we had to go through a field with cows. Now, it's not funny, but we got through okay. But as my mum was coming through, it looked like a couple of them were running after us. So she started to get frightened and started legging it to what I've never seen her run, never seen a 70-year-old run that fast. And we were laughing at her, which we shouldn't have done really, but it was funny at the time. But they weren't running after her, but she thought they were. And obviously it was quite scary for her. So anyway, you know what we're like. You know what families are like between each other. And we were a bit cruel. It was a bit cruel on her.
I've never ever seen a baby alpaca. Look at that with his little coat on. I think this is a farm because there's an awful lot of them.
Penelope Keith and her husband Rodney actually built a house in Wycoller. You're about to see it in a moment. A beautiful place, and they were due to build a 6-bedroom guest house. They wanted to retire in Wycoller, but unfortunately their planning permission was denied, so they ended up retiring to the Scottish Highlands instead, which I think is quite sad for Wycoller.
Well, we found the first fairy door, and Daddy found it first.
Isn't this archway absolutely beautiful? Well, Gary and I, just as Frankie Jack was born, I think he was 3 months old, we were lucky enough to go to Salzburg. And this reminds me of that archway that I saw that was in the movie when they were all dressed as, you know, when she made the clothes out of curtains and they all skipped through it. And they've actually built some wooden benches around here. So cute and so beautiful. Again, I cannot tell you, the Northwest is great for little pocketed areas like this where you can come and visit. So do come up to the Northwest if you get the chance, because there's some really beautiful places to come to, and I'm sure I've not visited all of them. I've got many more to do.
Oh, she's there again. She's peeking through a window, having an ice cream. Stand back, stand back. Hey! So we're out in Blackpool. It's a bit wonky, they don't look great, don't they, these hats? We're out in Blackpool, so we've ridden from right further than the North Pier, right where you come in where the lights start, and then we've ridden down to the North Pier, which is quite a way, and then all the way to Central Pier. So he started moaning around about the Northern Pier. Fun, cheap and free. We're going back now. Look, come on, come on. I don't want to do this. But yeah, I want to go to Blackpool, I want to go to Blackpool. I don't want to do it now. You did? That's a fibby wibby. Ooh. That's a fibby did. So a bit like the whistling tree in Burnley, they've got this. When the wind blows, it makes. And when he stood looking at it like this, because the clouds move, it looks like it's going to fall on top of you. It's a bit eerie.
In my last vlog, I tell you about the 43-mile round trip that we've done on the Lancashire section of the Pennine cycleway, and this was a part of it that we did. Never been to this place before. It's called Greenberfield, and I'm going to tell you all about it in just a moment, and we ended up stopping for sandwiches as well.
So we've now just stopped off. So where are we now? We don't know.
Yeah, you've just gone through Barnoldswick.
We've just gone through Barnoldswick, and we've just stopped for a sandwich, packet of crisps, our drink, and some meringues I made last night that Gary's eating. I've already eaten all mine. Hold the handlebars.
Funny trying to get myself off.
No, because I need to take a picture.
Just taking a picture of the bike. Get your feet on the pedals.
I will.
Foot on the other handlebar, that's it.
Look at mummy. Handlebars. So, I've just got off my bike because we're at the tallest or the highest point of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal here. I've never been here before. It's called Greenberfield, I think. You've got boating facilities like showers, etc. And it's really beautiful. You've got seats, they've got a little cafe as well. But you can't moor here for longer than 1 hour. You can't stay overnight. So there's a big boat there, but that looks like it has been moored for quite a while, but I don't know whether that's obviously got something to do with, yeah, canal transport. So it's got something to do with Leeds and Liverpool Canal. And there's people coming up the locks or going down the locks because this is the highest point. So yeah, this is the canal and river trust that have this, and yeah, it's at the top. So it marks the highest point of the Leeds and Liverpool Canal, where you are now standing is 487 feet, 148 metres above sea level, and from here it's all downhill all the way to Leeds in the east and Liverpool to the west.
Our new boots for walking.
Down there and through that wall and under it.
Go on then.
Tunnel.
Are we going under here?
Yeah. And then over that side.
Where's he taking me?
You're going over here, Frankie, Jack.
I know, but I'm just trying to climb it.
Hold daddy, not the gate.
I don't need daddy.
Okay.
I don't need you.
Ooh, I don't need you.
So soggy. Here's where it's behind us.
on a walk today with our new boots on, and Frankie Jack is just finding himself across a little bridge. Are you going first?
Can't remember that last time, Frankie Jack. Came over it, but I can't remember it being like this.
Oh, I had my hand right next to a nettle. Oh gosh, that's one of these days somebody's weight's going to go with that. And it might be mine.
No, watch how you get over. Step, step. We're gonna do something.
Chief skimmer.
You come closer to the river.
No, because I don't want to be splashed, thank you, because that's what you want to do.
No, are you gonna go across to the river?
No, because he don't want to be splashed either. None of us want to be splashed. We know what you're about.
Just like that.
I've got a perfect one. Hey,
What?
got a perfect one to skim for you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, skim that one. Hey, skim that one across.
Skim it, but it won't go that far. Let's see how it goes far.
Watch your head, Frankie Jack.
You got it? Wow.
Oh, it did! Went all the way across.
Told you I only put the first.
We've done this walk quite a few times, and one of the times we went down, these cows were coming across to be milked. So, of course, this was really funny, and Frankie Jack found this hilarious, and it looks even better when it's speeded up, doesn't it? But they were coming down, and they were having a look, wondering what was going on, and then walking across this river to get across to the other side, obviously to go milking. But isn't it funny how they are kind of trained that this is what they've got to do? How do they know they've got to come across this river? Thank you so much for watching our family day out around the northwest. They're just brilliant, aren't they? That's just some of the stuff that you can do in the area where I live, and it's just such a great place to get out and see all these different countrysides, etc., and be by the seaside in around about 35 minutes. I do love the northwest, I have to say. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, and please, we would love you to subscribe and be part of our YouTube channel. I'll see you on the next vlog. Bye.